All right, my fellow sports fans, you are now rocking with the best. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with 7 Mitchell callers. Y'all call up 347-989-8102. Make sure y'all follow us on social media, man. We are so lit everywhere. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us everywhere at T7M Radio. We definitely appreciate all the new subscription views and support that you guys have been showing to the platform early on. Let's get into the National Football League. Christmas Day, the 9-5 Pittsburgh Steelers, the 8-6 Baltimore Ravens. My Baltimore Ravens is going down 4:30 kickoff. Now the Steelers and the Ravens, they continue their spirited rivalry. This game basically could ultimately decide the team who's going to advance to the postseason out of the AFC North possibly. The Steelers simply need to win Sunday to clinch their 7th AFC North title overall. And earn a spot in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. My Ravens is a little bit more different. They're sitting at 8-6. We basically will have to beat Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. We probably going to have to win out both road games to end the season. But if we are able to beat Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in Week 17, the Ravens will have our first division crown since our 2012 run where we won the Super Bowl. But either way you look at it, man, this is definitely a game anticipated for the ages. I'm not too happy about this. I don't know if this is actually some type of sick joke or something like that. Maybe Santa Claus is up to it. I'm feeling a little bit Ebenezer Scrooge-like because, you know, when it comes to Ravens and Steelers, man, we go to war. It's not a game. It's not for play. We're not going to sit up here and trash talk. When it comes to the Ravens and Steelers, we really don't do that too much trash talk. We got so much respect for each other, but we already know that it's war once we hit the field. And for the National Football League to put this game on Christmas Day, when you are supposed to be with your family and your friends and celebrating and being happy, and we got to lock in with a war with the Ravens and the Steelers, the National Football League, you are so disrespectful putting this game on Christmas Day. I mean, I just feel like Santa Claus should play some type of practical joke. Real practical joke, Santa Claus, you son of a... So, you know, but all in all, it should be a good game. Now, the winner of this game will also likely earn the 3rd seed in the AFC playoffs, which means a first-round home game. So can you imagine, with all that we done been through this year, can you imagine, you know, the playoffs coming to M&T Bank Stadium? That would just be bananas. So I'm definitely, you know, rooting for my Ravens to make that happen. But realistically, man, it's honestly a long shot. Now, we did beat Pittsburgh before in our first meeting. Joe Flacco, who we've seen some sloppy Joe, we've seen some cool Joe, we've seen bits and pieces of both. But the last time Flacco and the Ravens faced the Steelers this year, I think he was like 18 for 30, 241 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception. The Ravens won 21-14. Mike Wallace had a huge game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I definitely feel like Mike Wallace is going to have another one, as well as Steve Smith, as well as Perman. Like, all the stars are going to have to be aligned in Heinz Field this upcoming Sunday at Pittsburgh. I'm just being honest because, you know, I'm not real happy, and I don't like the way that we're playing coming down the end of the season. Like, I don't have a problem with us having to go on the road in the playoffs. If we were playing well, if we had some type of momentum. But we 2-4 on the road this year. Our last 2 games are on the road with division rivals. I'm just not sold on my coverage, my secondary, for my defense. And, you know, the Ravens have been stamped when they come to defense. So this kind of blows my damn mind. But I hope that, you know, Joe Flacco can not only not make the mistakes that he's prone to make. We're going to need Joe Flacco to take some chances this weekend because Big Ben and company is going to put that ball up. And you got Le'Veon Bell playing some of the best football of his career. The Steelers right now 9-4. They 4-2 at home. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. What can you say? So this is definitely going to be a good one. The Steelers have improved since their last meeting with the Ravens, I will admit. They're riding a 5-game winning streak. It's the longest winning streak since 2009 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Ravens are going to have to get it together. And if we do not pull off this win this upcoming Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas Day, Santa Claus, do not show your motherfucking face nowhere around this motherfucking anymore. We'll buy our kids our own Christmas presents moving forward. If you take away the gift of happiness from Ravens Nation Santa Claus this Sunday and allow the Baltimore Ravens to lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers and possibly knock us out of postseason contention, I'm taking you and your red-nosed reindeers and getting y'all the out of here. Better believe it. So, salute to the Ravens Nation, man. Hopefully we can come together Christmas Day and clean the jingle bells, clean the clocks of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4:30 kickoff. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, the rematch. This is possibly for all the marbles, so make sure y'all lock into that. Now, Ravens Nation, what I will say, something that you guys probably will find a little bit comical, because I know I did. 10 years into Mike Tomlin's tenure with the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, former quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw is clearly, obviously not impressed. Terry Bradshaw, who won Super Bowls as a Steelers quarterback from 1970 to 83, my fellow Ravens Nation, said that he has issues with the notion that Mike Tomlin is an elite coach, saying other than he's a great cheerleader guy. Wow. Like, how disrespectful can you be to your own or to the coach of the team that you've pretty much been successful? Like, well, just how disrespectful can you be to Mike Tomlin? And according to Terry Bradshaw, he said, I don't think he's a great coach at all, Bradshaw said while I guess on Fox Sports Speak for Yourself. He said he's a nice coach. To me, I've said this, I've said he's a really great cheerleader guy. I don't think he's a great coach at all. His name never even pops up in my mind when we think about great coaches in the NFL. Wow. Terry Bradshaw, you, my friend, are so disrespectful to Mike Tomlin. Now, me personally, I have no problem with this. Any friction within the Steelers organization, whether it be from the outside or inside the locker room, is perfectly fine with me. And I'm sure it's perfectly fine with Ravens Nation. But wow. I mean, really, for you to sit up there and say that Mike Tomlin, one of the most disciplined coaches in the NFL, I must admit, for you to say that he's not an elite coach, well, I'm not going to sit up there and say he's an elite coach, because there's definitely been times where I feel like we should turn the temperature up on the hot seat of Mike Tomlin. But clearly Mike Tomlin is far from just a nice guy. I mean, he keeps his guys pretty much in line. You don't see too much crazy stuff coming out of Pittsburgh in the last decade, so wow. I'm a little bit blown away by the comments that Terry Bradshaw had. Now, Bradshaw said that he considered Tomlin's predecessor, Bill Cowher, a great coach. So that's kind of interesting about that assessment. Mike Tomlin's Steelers have won 5 straight games. Like I said, they can clinch the AFC North title with the win against my Baltimore Ravens this upcoming Christmas Day at Heinz Field. Mike Tomlin is only one of 8 coaches in the NFL history to win at least 100 games in his first 10 years on his job. So I think you need to get back to the game tapes, Mr. Terry Bradshaw, you disrespectful motherfucker, if you want to go ahead and talk smack to Mike Tomlin. But I'm not taking up for Mike Tomlin. You guys do what you do, man. Y'all got to let me know. What do y'all think about the rift between Mike Tomlin and Terry Bradshaw? Does Terry Bradshaw have a point? Was he being disrespectful? Am I out of bounds by saying the great Hall of Fame Terry Bradshaw is being disrespectful and out of bounds? I mean, one knock that they have on Mike Tomlin, his teams over the past decade, is that he's had a trend of losing to sub 500 teams on the road. But like I said, the Steelers have pretty much seen to clean those mistakes up, especially in the most recent weeks. So maybe it's much to do about nothing, but I definitely found this interesting, Ravens Nation. Y'all let me know what's up. 7 Mitchell. You are now rocking with the best. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk. T7M Radio, man. Y'all be good. One.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media, T7M Radio on YouTube.